In this video, I'll be sharing with you a tutorial on how to cut this stylish halter neck doubled layer flare backless gown. So if this is something you like, kindly hit on the subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up. Let's dive right into today's video.
So to start, here is my pattern paper and I'm going to go ahead to fold it into a triangular form. So if you're cutting this directly on your fabric, so for this style you can actually cut it directly on your fabric. Go ahead to cut it fold your pattern in a triangular form. So now after folding it, what you do is to divide your shoulder into two. My shoulder is 14 divided by 2, which will give me 7. So I'm going to find where I have 7 inches on that pattern paper. So after I'm done marking this, I'm going to place my tape from the tip of the pattern paper to where I have that line. Now I'm trying to have like a circular effect at the lower part of my pattern. So after measuring from here to this point, what I have is 9 inches. Now I'll take that 9 inches all the way around. So after marking this, you're going to find out that you have like a circle effect at the upper part of your pattern. Now after I'm done marking that, I'll go ahead to use my marker to outline. So after I'm done outlining, I'll place my tape, whether at -3 you want minus or -4. Now you're going to take the full length of your dress. Now I'm just going to use where this pattern paper ends to take the full length of my dress, which is about 31.5 or 31 inches. Now if you're cutting this on your own pattern paper, on your own fabric, you want to go ahead to add like your folding allowance, extra 1 inch or 1.5 for your folding allowance. Now I'm going to go ahead to keep placing my tape from -4 and I'll mark the length of the dress. So you're trying to create like a semicircle or at the lower part of this dress. Now after I'm done marking that, the next step I'm going to take is to go ahead to connect all those lines that I marked out, forming a half circle. Now so after I'm done connecting it, the next step I'll take is just to go ahead to cut it out. And after cutting it, we can now go ahead to work on the upper part of the pattern of the dress. So at this point, if you haven't yet subscribed, please kindly hit on the subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up and also leave your comment at the comment section. So after I'm done cutting this out, we are going to go ahead to also cut out the upper part of this dress. This is where we are going to add the halter neck effect at the upper part of the dress. Now I'll go ahead and place my tape at that -4. Now I want to mark where the back will start. So I'll be using one pattern to cut this out because I'm using a pattern paper. I placed my tape and I came up by 2 inches after my waistline. I placed my tape at -14 and on my waistline I came up by 2 inches and I will connect. So from this point, I'll go ahead to mark about ½ inch at the front part of my dress and I'll be connecting it. So if you're using a fabric to cut this out, you want to go ahead to trace out this pattern first before altering the front pattern of the dress. So from this ½ inch now, I connected it all the way to that part that I went up by 2 inches from my waistline.
Now, if you don't want the back of this dress to be too free this way, what you're going to do is you're going to shape it in a bit. That is, instead of cutting it directly this way, you can go ahead to like reconnect it this way so that the waistline part will be a bit fitted. That is, if you don't want it to be too free at the sides of your pattern.
So after I'm done connecting, this is what I have. So I will notch this area. Just like I said, if you're cutting out your pattern, you can just cut this out and you're going to be tracing out the waistline of the pattern later. That will serve for the back pattern. Now for the front, you want to make like little strips of fabric, which I'm going to add little strips of fabric at the upper part of the pattern of this dress, which will serve as the rope that you're going to use to tie the dress at the back. So this is what you'll be having. Now, going over to the lower part of this dress, you're actually also going to cut out the waistline, just like we said earlier. Now, at the waistline, you can place your tape and measure what you have directly. So if you cut that out, if you mark that, you can just take the measurements round round your pattern and you're going to cut it out. So I'm just going to mark it at one point and just trace out what I have here. So after I'm done marking this, I'm going to connect. Now I'll be cutting this out for the back pattern. So the first part we cut out is for the front pattern, and the back part, this second part, now you will use it to cut out the back pattern of the dress. Now you also add an elastic here, which will help gather the waistline of your dress. So after I'm done cutting this, now you notice at the back part of the dress there's like a fabric that is attached. That is to go ahead to hold the back firmly at the back. So you can go ahead to insert that at your underbust. And to cut that part, you can use any measurement of your choice. Let's say 3 inches or 4 inches by 20 or 30
Now, if you take a
inches
look at the
long,
lower part
whatever
of this
that is going
dress,
to
you
hold
find
the
out
back
that
firmly.
there are two layers of this dress, right? Now, what you're going to do is, this is a chiffon and you'll be turning it with a lining. That is the first layer, you'll turn it with the lining. Now, getting to the lower part of this dress, you're going to reduce the length of your lining. Now, when you reduce your length of your lining, what you now do is to cut out the fabric, which is the actual circumference of round the lower part of this gown, and you'll be attaching the main fabric to it, which will now come out at the lower part of this dress to now give it a double layer for this dress. So if you don't understand the explanation for the lower part, go ahead to also leave the question at the comment section.